Hello and happy new year to everybody. I got back to Sydney, Australia today. My name is deanjmoon. I run these digital cohorts in the Ship30 ecosystem, and this video is just to go through a bit of the logistics and how I do it, and it's this continual evolution because it's vastly different from the Ship30 that I experienced almost 2 years ago. I tend to talk a lot, and I try and do these videos under like 2 or 3 minutes, and they blow out to like 20, 30 minutes. So if I do that, apologies in advance. So just a little bit about me first, just so that you got some background. I came across Ship30 for 30 in around about August 2022. I'd been made redundant, and occasionally my kids will pop up and say hello. Say hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to start my own business. I've always wanted to build something of my own, but I just didn't know how to do it. And like most people, you get stuck in working a job and you just keep going because the the safety net of that salary is really hard to just let go of. Like, why would people come and pay for my services if I'm not working for a company? And the reality is people will. But if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't build the expertise, if you don't write, and writing is a very powerful tool because it allows you to create the assets, the artifacts, develop your expertise around about what you do and how you would do it. And it's a very cathartic experience. So I got into Ship30 for 30, August 2022. We did a run, I think it started in September. I met a bunch of people. Clive, Adrian was a friend already from a different course, and Vernon were people that I'd met in these cohorts. We jumped online, and at the end of the 30 days, I jumped on a celebration call, and I'd had a couple of people speak to me while I've been writing on LinkedIn, and they're asking me things like, are you starting a business? Are you selling something? And I had these offers. They didn't fruition into anything, but it was weird. Just the consistency of writing opened the doors to people seeing that you're doing something. So that was 2 years ago, and on and off I've been writing. And in April last year, 2024, I finished up a job that I was working at an agency, and I thought, fuck this, I'm just going to go all in. And I've been doing this and I'm hunting for clients. And so what I'm doing is I'm building a ghostwriting agency, and I do some sales consultancy as well. My background is in sales. So let's get into the logistics. What you've got here is this is my Notion board, and this is basically what my content looks like today. It's all very image based. I do a lot of stuff in Canva. And for those of you that are looking at my stuff going, shit, I can't do stuff like that. I thought this was right. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not skilled. I took art in high school, and I'm 48 this year. So that says something about, me learning how to do all this stuff. This is all Gen AI stuff. It looked like this very early on. But yeah, you can. Just wait.
Can watch
Daughter
it.
wants strawberries. It looked like this at the beginning. A lot of my content looked like this, and it's changed over a period of time. So what Ship30 for 30 is for you is whatever you want to make it. And it can be pure copy, it can be images, it can be pictures, it can be whatever you want. But ultimately, the writing is the essence and the backbone of what you're actually producing. So let's just quickly jump into Skool. So in Skool, you've got the curriculum, and I have to say, Dick and Cole have done an amazing job of actually distilling the essence of these live lectures that they used to do. So get in there and watch these videos as you go along. And I want to show you something just quickly, just before I get into the actual post and how I would suggest you do it and why. So this is my post here, Jan 25, Ship30, digital run. And I'll do this again at the end of Feb, once we or mid-Feb, once I take 2 weeks off, I keep writing, and then I run another one. And then I take 2 weeks off, and I keep going. And it's just really good practice. It just keeps getting me back into reviewing the content, the curriculum, and then just reviewing my work. So if you look here in Skool, those of you that have bought Ship30 for 30, the asynchronous course, you've come through, and then you go through this whole introductions, wins, and discussions, and you go through. And one of the things that is vastly different with the cohort-based courses was that you had this community and you had people, just wrapped around you, posting content day by day, doing these 30-day sprints, and you'd make friends and you'd support their content and you'd support and they would support your content and it was bizarre. It was this really lovely experience and I've made friends and stuff like that. But when you come into the asynchronous version, you come in here and you see people and they're writing questions and they're sharing stuff. And occasionally you'll get, so Eric here has got like, restarting after, a failed first attempt. He's got 27 comments, 9 likes. But what happens is people just build their own islands and it's pretty lonely. It's pretty, you buy this course, you think you're going to build a community and you're going to write and the intentions are there, but there's just no community support. And that's what Ship30 was really great at when they first did it. That Dick and Cole now obviously focusing on PGA, and I think there is a push towards Ship30 this year, but let's see how that's going to play out. But a lot of people here, you can see them that, sharing and, like 2 likes, 2 comments. This is not too dissimilar to what it's like when you're writing on LinkedIn or X. It's like you put something out there and it's lonely. You wonder, is it worth it? Should you continue? You get very discouraged very quickly because there's no feedback. So that's what that looks like. But this is the chat that I've created and, the little videos and stuff that I do. And I've created all these little sort of daily, day 2, day 3, and this is just built up over a period of time. And the reason that I recommend you posting your content in here as well as out on LinkedIn and X is that when we create noise in a single chat, more people start to come and see, and they see what's going on, and the chat surfaces to the top of Skool. And what that enables is other people just like you and me going, oh shit, there's like people doing this thing. They're actually, and they're running together. And so they see it and we start, and you develop friendships. And I have to say, one of the biggest takeouts for Ship30 for me has been the friendships, the mentorship, the support. I'm still in contact with, I call them the lads, 3 of these gents that I've met through this writing course. 2 years on, we still keep talking and we jump on calls and they give me advice on my work and also, and it's amazing. It's like it's vastly different from being out there on your own. So here there's 50 comments, and obviously some of this is manufactured because I've gone like 1, 2, 3 date, all that sort of stuff. But you'll see the thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. So what I recommend is, I've done this purposely. This is how I've done it. You'll see on mine, we've gone day 1 /30 Jansen, and I purposely put the dates in because you want to be able to track your date where you are against the number. So if you come in and you miss a day and you're like day 15 and you've missed all of these, we'll post on day 15 and you can go back and count. It's just easier. Like that's how my brain thinks. So here I've gone day 1 /30, the data-driven writer. Why have I gone the data-driven writer? Because that was the post that I had put up 2 days ago when I was in Korea, and this idea had been in my head for quite some time, and it was all about Alan Turing and the film, what was the film called? The something machine. Anyway, and this was kind of inspired by 𝗏𝗏 in a sense because he's a data and AI guy and he's an intern and he wants to write more about it and blah blah blah. And I'm like, shit, there's an idea here, and so I came up with this. So back in school, how I've done it is I write it up. I'll give you an example. You go blah 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 blah, blah, right? And you add the link, and it pops up like that. So here, obviously, I've gone the data-driven writer. And why do I do it like this? I do it like this because I do it like this because how you do anything is how you do everything. And if I produce a comment that is easy to digest here, I want more people to read my stuff. So why wouldn't I want more people in Ship30 to actually read my stuff, support it? And this kind of goes into like other things like, engagement pods and stuff like that. And I'm a bit against paid engagement pods, but in a sense, we are creating an engagement pod by doing this, but you are under no obligation to support anybody's work with likes and commenting and stuff like that. And you'll learn a lot about how social media, especially LinkedIn, works. It's a game, and you'll see people with like massive audiences and just got rubbish, just meh content. And I don't want to be negative about the content, but like people do what they do to get ahead. And I'm probably a bit more of a purist where I think, hey, I want my content to surface over a period of time. Yes, I've got some what I call barnacles on my account, so they'll always like my stuff. But it's, if you follow it this way, I believe that it just sets up good practice. It sets up good behavior. And so let's okay. So here we go, day 1. Day 2 will be same thing. It'll be 2/30, and I'll actually share what I'm gonna post. It's this here. It's called It's Not Just a Game. And I created this Monopoly board. But if you look at the Monopoly board in my Canva, by the way, this is my Canva from when I first started. So it used to look like this, right? That's how I started. I didn't know how. I just copied people. And then over a period of time, I started to do images and stuff like that. And so here we go. Here it is. It's a Monopoly board. And if you notice, these are all tiles. They're all my little tiles in there, all those little images of content. And so the more you write, the more content you'll have. The more content you'll have, the more data you'll have. The more data you have, the more insight you'll have. The more insight you have, the more expertise you'll develop. And then when you start doing that, if you do images or if you do those block quotes or whatever, you create more assets. And as you create more assets, you then can start creating collateral that you use to build your digital moat, lake, whatever, so that when people come to your landing page, you've got all of these assets. And so this is just an example. And this is stuff that I've slowly worked out over the last 2 years. So just to quickly wrap it up, again, this is like 13 minutes now. Like I wanted it to be 2 minutes. So Happy New Year to everybody here. Welcome to this digital run. Have fun. I'm just leading this. I'm not the owner of this, if you think about it. So please share suggestions. Take ownership in the conversation, contribute, provide feedback. If there's a cool app that you think that we should check out, link it up there. Build relationships with people in here, in Skool as well. And if I can encourage you, I encourage you to actually post in here, as well as, when I say post, just link as a comment, as well as obviously on X and the other platforms that you do. And lastly, I'll just finish on this. When you sign up for Ship30 for 30, you'll get access to TypeShare. TypeShare is a publishing platform. It's pretty cool. It's the one that Dickie and Cole own. They've been building it up. There's a ton of them. I use one called Typefully, and I also use Taplio. Probably a bit of double up there. But I want to call out that when you post on publishing software, you're not actually posting in social blogging platforms. So you're not posting on LinkedIn. You're not going to get like this breadth of people that are going to see your content. Who's going to see your content is other subscribers doing the same thing. And so you want to be writing on X, you want to be writing on LinkedIn. And the whole purpose of this is to get out of your head, get out into the internet, let the algorithms do their job, and find your ideal client profiles, your ICPs. I'm going to use that word a lot. And you want them to see your content, and you want to improve and improve and improve and improve and build whatever you're looking to build. So with that said, I've gone way over. Happy New Year. Welcome to this little group. And I'll see you online in the LinkedIn chat, on Skool. And if you want to schedule some time with me for a 30-minute call, quick intro, pick my brain, that sort of stuff, happy to do that as well. All right. Peace. God bless.